subscribe.
Funny how secrets travel. I start to believe if I were to leave.
Before most of the story in David Lynch's Lost Highway even begins, the film opens with dark highway lines disappearing endlessly into the night while David Bowie's I'm Deranged plays underneath. And psychologically, it's a perfect pairing because both the song and the film feel less interested in ordinary narrative and more interested in fragmented identity, memory disruption, and the terrifying instability of the self. The highway itself almost feels psychological. Endless movement without emotional arrival. A person continuing forward externally, while internally becoming more fragmented. And Bowie's voice enters almost like an internal monologue already unraveling. What makes Lynch's use of the song so effective is that it immediately places the viewer inside a state of psychological unreality. Not simply fear, not cinematic madness in the traditional sense, something quieter, more psychologically disorienting than that. The feeling that reality itself has become emotionally unstable. What makes the song haunting is the way Bowie repeats the word deranged, not emotionally uncontrolled, almost observational. And clinically, there's something psychologically familiar in that distance, because my tween and teen patients experiencing prolonged emotional overwhelm, trauma, dissociation, or identity fragmentation do not always appear chaotic outwardly. Sometimes they become detached from themselves instead, still speaking, still functioning, still performing identity, but no longer feeling entirely connected to the person performing it. The song moves in circles emotionally. Phrases repeat, images blur together. Thoughts never fully resolve, and psychologically, repetition like that can resemble the way unresolved emotional states operate internally, especially after prolonged stress or emotional instability. The nervous system keeps returning to the same emotional territory, trying to process something that never fully settled. So instead of narrative clarity, the mind produces fragments, sensations, images, emotional loops, pieces of identity disconnected from one another, and the person may not fully understand what is happening inside themselves anymore. There's a line near the beginning that feels deceptively small.
Funny how secrets travel. I start to believe if I were to leave.
And psychologically, secrets often do travel through families, through relationships, through emotional silence, through shame. People never learned how to speak openly. Sometimes people inherit emotional realities that were never explained directly, only absorbed indirectly through unpredictability, withdrawal, criticism, or emotional instability. And over time, a person can begin organizing themselves around emotional conditions they were never given language for. The result is often confusion without clear origin. A person sensing something feels psychologically wrong without fully understanding why. One of the most unsettling aspects of dissociation is that it can make a person feel emotionally unfamiliar to themselves, not fully disconnected from reality, not entirely absent, but altered, like the self has become slightly unreal. And I think I'm Deranged captures that sensation remarkably well. The song feels suspended between identities, between performance and confession, between self-awareness and collapse, between emotional numbness and emotional flooding. In creative arts therapy, I sometimes see adolescents who describe this experience indirectly, not saying I feel dissociated, but instead, I don't feel like myself anymore. I feel strange all the time. Everything feels fake. I don't know who I am lately, and often, those experiences emerge after prolonged emotional strain, chronic instability, or years spent adapting to environments that never fully felt emotionally safe. David Bowie understood performance deeply, not just artistically, psychologically. Many people develop visions of themselves designed for survival, a persona that keeps functioning, keeps adapting, keeps pleasing, keeps moving, and eventually the performed self can become so continuous that the person loses clear access to what exists underneath it. That is part of what makes the song feel so emotionally uncanny. It sounds like someone trapped between identities, still moving through the world, while privately becoming psychologically unrecognizable to themselves. And there's something emotionally cold about the atmosphere of the song. The repetition, the distance, the unresolved tension. Even the imagery feels dreamlike in a disturbing way.
And the rain sets in. It's the angel man. I'm deranged. Cruise me, baby.
The song never truly resolves emotionally, because dissociation itself often does not feel dramatic while it's happening. It can feel foggy, automatic, muted, a person continuing daily life while internally feeling increasingly unreal. I don't think David Bowie's I'm Deranged is simply about madness. I think it captures something psychologically more difficult to describe. The experience of fragmentation, a person continuing to survive externally while internally losing the stable emotional feeling of being one coherent self. And maybe that's why the song remains so haunting, because many people know this feeling privately, even if they've never had words for it before. Sometimes psychological survival fragments a person so gradually that they do not realize how disconnected from themselves they have become until the feeling of reality itself begins to change. Leave any thoughts in the comment section below, and please subscribe to this channel. Thank you. Hello, this is Enrico, licensed creative arts therapist, New York State.